Matt, tell us the story of the Band of Brothers.
Well, I think that was a popular TV show about 5 years ago.
Yes, some Spielberg, World
Exactly.
War.
Some little guy, Steven Spielberg. Well, I play in a band called Like a Storm. We come from New Zealand. And my brothers and I actually all grew up playing in different bands. But we would always jam together at home when we were a little bit older than this guy. And we always had so much fun playing together that we decided to form one band, Like a Storm. And then we moved overseas to see how far we could go.
When was that? When did you move?
We moved overseas about 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's why your English is not so Aussie.
Exactly. I don't know what it is now. We've spent time in America and England and Europe, and we're from New Zealand originally, so I'm not sure what I sound like anymore.
New Zealand. How do you call yourself? The Blackies?
Kiwi.
Oh, the Kiwis, right?
Kiwis, yeah.
So the decision was made to go to California because that's where rock and roll is.
Yeah.
That's where it happens, right?
Yeah, we left Auckland, where we're from, and we actually originally moved to Vancouver in Canada as a stepping stone from New Zealand to America. But we pretty quickly found ourselves in Los Angeles. And that was really when things started for us. We made our first record in Los Angeles, and we started touring there, and we've pretty much been touring ever since.
Yeah. And then there was this
I think he has something he wants to say.
Yeah, he wanted to ask you about your fairy godfather.
My fairy godfather.
No, Mark.
Oh, man, we love Mark.
Mark Tremonti.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Did he see a show of yours? Or?
Actually, he heard our music. The first time we were in LA making our record, and Creed were making their Full Circle album in the same studio. Mm-hmm. And it just happened that our producer played our music for Mark, which was incredible, I have to say, because Mark was really my idol when I was growing up. So you grow up in New Zealand, on the other side of the world, listening to these musicians, and Mark was a guy that I really admired. So to think that he was even hearing my band at all was amazing. But even more amazing than that is that he and the other guys in Creed invited us out on tour with them for their reunion tour.
Gee.
In America, which was a very big tour. It was arenas and stadiums. And
that was your first show
that was
in
our
America.
first. That was our
Pennsylvania.
first. Yeah.
Gee.
So, and that was just the start. Since then, we've toured. We played here with Mark last June, and we've also
the Tremonti Band.
Yeah, and we've also toured with Alter Bridge, and Slash with Miles. So we've been very, very lucky to play with those guys as much as we have.
Wow. So you're kind of like family with them now.
I mean, I think we're very honored to consider ourselves friends, but we're also just huge fans of Mark and Alter Bridge and Creed. So for us to get to tour with any combination is just amazing.
Yeah. It's like, those two are like really hard workers, You learn a lot from them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think we always liked to think that we worked pretty hard. But you spend time around Mark and Miles and the guys, and you really see not just the amount of talent they have, but also the amount of passion they have for music. Yeah. I think it's really inspiring to get to meet your idols and see just how passionate they are about making music.
You said in the beginning you played in different bands. Why was that? Just to show, I could do better?
I think there was always a kind of a friendly competition. But the main reason is that my brothers, Kent and Chris and I, we all sang, we all wrote songs, and I think it just made sense for each of us to form bands with our friends and play those songs. And it was funny because we would play together at home just for fun. And whenever we played together, it was just this amazing, effortless chemistry. And then you'd go and play with other bands, and that was cool too, but it was never the same. And so after a while, I think we just really felt that the three of us playing together was the best, the best music that we could make. And it's been amazing because we've got to share so much as three brothers touring the world.
Was there a longer discussion like, nah, I play lead guitar, you play rhythm, or I sing this part?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Chris, my brother who's our lead singer, well, he and I were both lead singers in our own bands. So I joined the band as a singer. But one of the things about the background we have is that we grew up playing a lot of different instruments. Mm-hmm. And so I think we all feel that we're more musicians in general than we are a guitarist, a singer, a drummer, that kind of thing. And so I think the exciting thing about, he's excited about it, the exciting thing about us playing together is that we get to switch who plays what, which as a musician is really awesome. It's for me, it's more fun to sing sometimes, play lead guitar sometimes, play piano sometimes than it is to just do one of those things.
Yeah. Well, and then of course you brought a typical New Zealand instrument to the rock circus. I mean, not that you were the first band to use a didgeridoo, but it kind of fits.
Yeah, I mean, there have been bands who've used didgeridoo in the past. I think the thing that we stumbled across was pairing didgeridoo with heavy music in a way that wasn't just a one-off thing. Chris taught himself how to play the didgeridoo, and which is crazy because it's an incredibly hard instrument to learn how to play.
Yeah.
Once he could play it, we just thought it was the most amazing sound. And so we've kind of been on this journey of seeing how we can combine didgeridoo with heavy rock music in a way that it's a legitimate part of the band. And I think that combination that's what I think we've kind of stumbled across that's unique.
You guys are into skiing, is that
Yeah,
right?
we grew up skiing. Our mum was a big skier. And so every year we would go down to the mountain.
She did competitions and stuff? Or?
She did when she was younger. Nothing like, when
Austrian.
people ski up here, then that's another level. But she was really passionate about it. And so we grew up skiing. And we haven't got to do any skiing over here in Europe, but we have skied Whistler.
The professional Austrian skiers, they usually go once a year to New Zealand to practice there.
Yeah. I mean those mountains are beautiful, and it's actually kind of cool. The mountain that we used to ski is one of the mountains they feature in Lord of the Rings. So whenever people talk about Lord of the Rings, it's like, dude, we used to go there every year. So it's kind of cool.
No, we're no hobbit.
Yeah, exactly. Hey guys, this is Matt from Like a Storm. And you're watching Mulachuk, the only TV you need.
Mulachuk!